Hello everybody, welcome to ABV Reviews. Thanks for joining me for this latest review, which is this one. This is Staropramen. It's probably one of the most famous Czech beers. It's up there. It's got to be top two, top three. The guys at work are constantly talking about this, and I've never proper reviewed it. So I thought I think I've reviewed it on Untappd. I had it on draft once. A long time ago, so I thought I'd caught a bottle of it, saw a bottle of it, so I thought, you know what, I'll get it, I will get it, and I will review it properly. Staropramen, it's nice and a crying shame at the same time. Staropramen doesn't mean Star of Prague, which I think it became a bit of a misnomer with it. It means old spring. I think the Staro means old and the Prama is spring, and it's called that simply because the brewery, the original brewery that brewed this, got all their water from all their old mineral water from an old spring, hence the name, which I think is quite nice. It's a Pilsner style. It was their take on the Pilsner style at the time, and that's what we have today. Well, I say that's what we have today. Today it's actually brewed in the UK by Molson Coors, which is an absolute crying shame. Let's talk about the beer first a little bit. So that is poured. That looks amber, clear, and an amber colour or a dark golden colour, with a lovely, it's actually got a really nice head, real nice foamy head. Yeah, the brewery has obviously been through lots of changes over the years, but I think in the 90s, early 90s, I think they were very close to being taken over by Bass. That happened later on, but what they didn't want, what they never wanted, is for the product to be brewed anywhere else. They wanted to brew in their own traditional ways, in the same brewery it always has been, but that's just not been the case. I think since the late 90s, I think Bass did eventually take it over, became part of InBev. It's now part of Molson Coors, and it's just brewed in, originally this was brewed, I think, in wooden vats. And partly that's where it's got its charm from, and that's where it got its taste from. But obviously that's all changed now. It'll be brewed in great big stainless steel, soulless containers. And I'm sure, although I've never had this as an original version, I'm sure this is going to be a shadow of its former self. I'm sure it is. Pick this up when I was in Scarborough. It was a 3 for £5 deal, so it's about £1.50, £1.60 a bottle, 660ml bottle. So not a bad price, and this stuff's available everywhere nowadays. You can't go in the supermarket without it being available. I do know the original people talk lovingly about this, and when I was many years ago, when I was a little bit more than a weenie, but when I first started drinking, I had a couple of mates who loved the Czech Republic, and they used to go over there and they used to talk about this all the time and how hoppy it was. Yeah, so just see what it's like now, shall we? Aroma. It's mild. There's maybe a little bit of skunkiness in there, just a little bit. Just getting that wet cardboardy, mild wet cardboardy aroma. So maybe it was just turning. But than that, it's got a grainy aroma. It's got a mild lemon aroma coming out of it. I always got the impression that this was a very punchy, lemony drink. So it's like now, shall we? Cheers, everybody. I'm sure the original brewers, probably no longer with us, but I bet they're turning their graves. It's thin. There's some good taste behind it, I have to say, but it feels really thin. There's nothing in the way of mouthfeel to it at all. It's a little bit grainy. It's a little bit malty. And there's a little bit of lemon. That's about it. But it's Pilsner style. To be fair, it's spot on for the style. I have to say that it is spot on for the style of a Pilsner. But I just know that this was a lot more than just a Pilsner in the old days. Brewed since 1869, when two visionary brewmasters set out to create a beer that would be better than the rest. Displaying true craftsmanship, Staropramen is brewed with passion using the finest ingredients, including premium Czech hops, and embodies the spirit of Prague in every sip. It's good if you're still using Czech hops anyway. That's something, I suppose. Don't really say a lot more, being honest. Dad's got a little bit of that skunkiness. It is very easy drinking. Very easy drinking indeed. It's 5% ABV, I think, if I remember rightly. Can't even see what it says. I'm sure Staropramen's 5%. It'll be there in big numbers somewhere, and for some reason I just cannot see it. Number one Prague beer in the world. Oh, it is in little letters, little characters. Yeah, 5% ABV. I thought it was. So 5%. It's sessionable. It is very easy drinking. I have to say it is smooth. If I'm being honest, that lemon does taste fresh. It is light, maybe a little bit too light. But yeah, it's clean, crisp, refreshing. It's all the things we talk about with Pilsner. It is there, but it's not anything special. End of the day, it is now just an international lager. But it's okay. It's okay. Nothing to write home about, really, if I'm being brutally honest. The flavours are there. No real bitterness. Yeah, it's okay. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 from Andy's Beer Reviews. Whatever you're drinking, please enjoy it, and until the next review, cheers everybody.